Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, Nigerians across the world. Top of the day to you, wherever you are joining this broadcast from. My name is Comrade Lamte Ikmomusa Oriahi, and as always, it is the Comrade Show. I'm glad to welcome you to this broadcast because we have a pact, we have a social contract, and that social contract between all of us is to see a better Nigeria in the very, very near future. That is the motivation. That is why always we do what we do. I want to appeal to you very quickly. If you are joining this broadcast, please help share this broadcast. It's important. Let's evangelize. Let's keep on spreading the good news. Let's keep on, opening, all of the information that we have so that more people can have access to this information that we have. Today, we're going to be looking at more reasons why Nigerians across the world must support the candidacy of Peter Gregory Obi. We are looking at it from very different strands, and we're actually going to be looking at some information out there, exposing the antics of the APC, and of course, exposing what's it called, alleging how corrupt the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is. Now, I must warn that some of the videos we're going to be playing to be corroborating some of this information, they are not, information that we can independently verify. But because they're out there, they are already out there in the public space. The whole world is seeing some of these things. Many of us on this platform may not have seen them. So we want to, make everybody see this information as much as possible. The other thing about it is that while this information are out there, we have not seen APC come out to debunk them. We have not seen anybody from Tinubu come out, Tinubu to come out to debunk them. So it's essential that Nigerians, get to see some of these things if we have not seen them. However, I'm going to start from Peter Obi, because each time I listen to Peter Gregory Obi, in fact, there's always this fire burning in me that we need to act more to ensure that the candidacy of Peter Obi succeeds and get into the Asu Rock for a better Nigeria for the future. Let's take a listen to something Peter Obi had to say recently, particularly concerning the state of Nigeria and the very important need for us to start getting it right. Please don't forget, help share this broadcast. It's important. Let's take a listen to Peter Gregory Obi. Then we'll come back.
1964 September, when Tafa Balewa wrote the World Bank to borrow $82 million to build the Kainji Dam. So you were able to generate over 1,000 megawatts of electricity in the 60s. Almost 60 years after, you cannot generate 4,000. It's unacceptable. I just went to Egypt. They're doing 58,000. 100 million people. And they only added 30,000 in the last 5 years. All the people I met in the power plants and everything were engineers, Egyptians, trained in universities in Egypt. When I went to the ministries, they are the same thing. They were all educated in Egypt. This is not an African country. So you need to invest in your people in education. I've visited all the states of Nigeria. There's no production because you have not invested in the people. Niger State, 76.3 square kilometers of land. They can't feed themselves. They can't feed Nigeria. Netherlands is 33,000 square meters. 33,000 square kilometers. They exported last year 120 billion worth of agriculture. A state twice their size, 2.5 times their size, and in winter cannot feed themselves. You have not invested in the human being. You need to do that investment. Taraba, 54.6 1,000 square kilometers of land with Mambila Plaza, where you can do coffee, tea, and flour. Kenya exported 600 million worth of flour. Those who pick flour in Kenya paid $100. Ethiopia exported coffee, $1.1 billion. You can grow it there. Sierra Leone, with all their problems, 1.4 billion coffee, you can grow it there. Taraba cannot feed itself. They are waiting to share money from oil. What a country. You need to move this country.
We need to move this country from consumption to production. It's his music. This is a man who believes very strongly that we cannot be solely dependent on crude oil. And as a matter of fact, for those who may not know, crude oil is fast fading away. The future of crude oil is bleak. The whole world, they are already shifting towards alternatives. And yet Nigeria is still heavily reliant on crude oil. The potentials of each of the states, we cannot tap into them because we have people at the helm of affairs who just don't know what to do to make opportunities in this country to thrive. These are some of the strong reasons why we are moving en masse to support Peter Gregory will be for president. Some people, the reasons are just too much. You can compare and contrast, the candidate. You can look at Peter Gregory Obi, you'll see huge difference between his knowledge of what we are dealing with and, of course, the other candidates that we have. Apart from the fact that the other candidates are laden heavily with corruption charges, Peter Obi is the man who's working in this field, with no charge against him, as it were. And I've said, look, if there are charges, bring it on. We want to look at those charges. And this is a man who constantly says, go and verify. Go and verify. Go and verify. Now, another beautiful thing about this man, that we need to understand and take away is that anybody who doesn't have, pure data of what the situation is, what was, what currently is, and what should be, depending on the road we take, that person is not ready to become president of Nigeria. Now, when you listen to Peter Obi, he tells you what was many years back, what is now. He compares our Nigerian state today to other states that are like Nigeria or that were like Nigeria many years back, and what some of those other states have done to move forward while Nigeria is actually moving backwards. Imagine in 1960, in the 60s, Nigeria was generating 1,000 megawatts of electricity. 60 years after, we are unable to generate 4,000. Unable to. 60 years after. And this is not talking about the billions and trillions and multi-trillions in dollars that has been wasted to give stable electricity to Nigerians. And yet, within the last 5 years, Egypt generated over 30,000. Now, if you sit down there, whether you are a Yoruba man, you are a Hausa man, you are Igbo man, you are somewhere else, from anywhere else, and you really think that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku would change what the state of Nigeria is right now, then you need to sit well and think properly, because we have statistics for these men. They have been in power before at the federal level. We know what they have, what their history is. We know exactly what their contributions have been. And we can tell you that there is no way we can continue to do the same things over and again and expect different results. While today, the issue of what is it called, Fulani herdsmen is a major problem to everybody, and better nations will look at the headers and look at the concerns of the headers and provide a proper environment safe for everybody to operate, for, to sort out the issues of herding in Nigeria and all of that, so that nobody is at a loss. Atiku Abubakar has come out to tell us that Fulani herders will always traverse the length and breadth of Nigeria, that nobody has a right to stop them because nobody can stop anybody's movement in Nigeria. And yet, when you check statistics, there are nations in this world that produce more beef than Nigeria, that have more cows than 20 times Nigeria has. And yet, you do not find cows roaming around the streets. You do not find cows competing with human beings in their space where they should occupy, where human beings should occupy and have their farmlands. You do not have these unhealthy clashes between, farmers and herders. Other countries make provisions. They standardize ranching. The nations make more money. Today, in present day Nigeria, an aspirant, Atiku Abubakar, is telling Nigerians still that these clashes between herders and farmers will continue. This is not a clash that is just between these Fulani herdsmen and farmers in the south, or Nigerians in the south alone. It's a clash between these Fulani herdsmen and farmers even in the northern part of Nigeria. And what responsible leadership should be doing is to be looking for ways and policies to, ensure that these issues don't happen. We need a beef in Nigeria. We need cows in Nigeria. Nigeria has enough space to occupy these cows in a way that they will be confined in their own environment, not mixing with environments where people operate, to avoid these clashes. That is what responsible people that want to drive a future for a nation do. And so when you sit there and you think that Atiku Abubakar is the Messiah for Nigeria of tomorrow, then you are going to have a problem with every other Nigerian who believe otherwise. Because as far as we are concerned, Atiku Abubakar becoming president of Nigeria is going to continue the same old policies that is unable to keep problems out of the Nigerian state, particularly with these Fulani herders and, of course, farmers, going about their duties, whether they are in the north or they are in the south. All we have been craving for, let us revamp the policies of the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s and make them compliant with the policies of the now. Everywhere in the world, cow business is a business, whether privately owned or owned by the government, but it's a business. Everywhere in the world, ranches are encouraged. And when ranches are encouraged, it creates more opportunities. More people become employed. It gives room for us to even have more cow meat, as it were, more beef, more milk, and more everything, because things are controlled. Everywhere in the world where people have, where people think for their nations, there are statistics, there are numbers on each cow. Every cow born owned by somebody, they have their specific numbers. They have their ranches where they live in. There are cows for beef, there are cows for milk. And all of these things are arranged. They don't happen by accident. They happen through policies. Policies created by those at the helm of affairs. Policies created, made for the people by those that the people empower to govern them. Today, I'm not going to dwell on Atiku Abubakar, but we are going to be looking at Bola Ahmed Tinubu against the backdrop of what we already know, what we see daily from Peter Gregory Obi, and the most need why Nigerians must not miss this chance. Now, we will put all of this in perspective and look at another information that has come out about APC, alleging plans concluded by the APC to rig the next year's elections. Now, while we may not be able to independently verify some of these claims, APC has not come out to debunk them. Besides that, the history of this country tells us that it is the same trajectory that some of these, what's it called, political parties, the main political parties, the same old trajectory, the same old things they have always done is what is reflected. But we are going to start from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Today, the man is in the news for the very wrong reasons as well. I don't want to dwell on the issue of certificates, saga, and all of that. We will expect the court processes and whatever is going to come up as regards that to take its course, as it were. But my major concern about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, apart from all the issues around him, is that I see Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a man who actually does not have capacity to be president of Nigeria, because this man is very old. Apart from being very old, we can see so much instability in him. People have observed from afar to say that he may even be suffering from Parkinson's disease. When he speaks, you notice obviously that there is a problem. This man is struggling. Somebody that must be president of a nation must be able, must be seen to be fit, must be somebody who's not running, every now and again abroad for medical, attention. Must be somebody who's ready to face the challenges that we are faced with. As a nation, my people, we are faced with too many challenges. Too many challenges. Too many challenges. That to now have the prospect of having somebody that we can see visibly as unwell, as old, which is not a crime. It's not a crime to be old. It's not even a crime to be ill. But when you look at yourself, you see how fit you are. There are things that you cannot just put yourself out to do. The only thing I've seen about Bola Ahmed Tinubu running for president is to fulfill a lifelong ambition to become president of Nigeria. It doesn't matter what happens before he gets there. It doesn't matter what happens to get there. It's just to fulfill that. And that fulfillment will be at the expense of all Nigerians. That fulfillment will be pain to all Nigerians. And that is why there is no way I will speak about the positives of Peter Obi and not talk about the negatives of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar, because this nation is all of our own. Anybody who is applying for the top job of this nation is asking us to look at him and scrutinize him. And so for those who may have made comments and are making comments that I should concentrate on my candidate and leave Bola Tinubu and Atiku alone, you are a liar. Because Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not running to become president of his own household. He's running to become president that will formulate policies and implement policies that will affect me, that I will suffer from or enjoy. The same way we are already experiencing right now under Muhammadu Buhari. And we can say that the last 7 years of Muhammadu Buhari has taken Nigeria back more than 100 years. We can look at it right now. Statistics just came out the other day to say that between January and now, more than 3,000 Nigerians have died needlessly because of the essence of Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen and the terrorist organizations that the Buhari administration has been unable to curtail. Price of commodity in Nigeria has skyrocketed by more than 500%, 300% in some cases, more than 1,000% even in some cases. Life has become so hard under this administration. Life has become so hard. And this is why the youth are waking up in the South. This is why the youth in the North equally have to wake up. If you are there, share this broadcast. If you have people in the North, we need them to hear this information. It is very important, because the sun that shines on Nigeria does not shine on just people in the South alone. The rain that falls doesn't just fall on the people in the South alone. Everywhere rain falls, it beats everybody. This is why this matter, this election must not be an election that will be regionalized. That will say, oh, those ones are Igbos, they should vote for Peter Obi. Those ones are, what's it called, Yorubas, they should vote for the other one. No. Nigerians the world over, across this universe, must understand that this country, the trajectory and the history of this country must change if we need to give birth to a new Nigeria. If we need to give birth to a new Nigeria, we must all be involved. And we must not listen to the cynics saying that, oh, Peter Obi cannot win this election because most of them are saying, some of them are saying those things because historically we have always caved into the design of the political oppressors we have had. They have a clear design, a strategy. Now it is no longer easy to just read by writing numbers anymore. So what they now do is to deploy resources, Nigerian money that they have stolen, deploy it to buy the Nigerians to vote for them. We saw this in Ekiti, but we are believing strongly that what we saw in Ekiti cannot happen in this presidential election, at least not in the South, particularly not in Edo State. I belong to a WhatsApp group, and this morning or yesterday or so, somebody posted something on that WhatsApp group, and the person was wondering what are the Edo State people doing differently that others are not doing. And the person was asking a question: is Peter Obi from Edo State? I will put up the post of this person here. Is Peter Obi from Edo State? Is there something Edo State obedience are doing that they are not telling us? Peter Obi's message is spreading in Edo State like wildfire. Please, Edo people, tell us the secret. We have 8 months to sell the most competent candidate in the race to Nigerians. You understand? May Peter Obi happen to Nigeria, the person's wish. But this person is amazed the way the Edo State people are embracing Peter Obi. I will answer you quietly, my brother. I don't even know this person, but we'll just post it on the group. But I picked interest in this. I need to share it so that I want to use it to encourage other states. It is because Edo State people woke up more than 4 years ago. Edo State people realized in 2020 that their vote counts and their voice matters. Edo State people realized that for us to change the hardship that we are into right now, we must all come together. And Edo State people have concluded that the person that they will vote for, that will win Edo State, will be Peter Obi. As a matter of fact, as of today, Edo State people is not looking at whether Peter Obi will win Edo State. Edo State people is looking at with how much margin will Peter Obi win Edo State. The secret is that Edo State people are suffering like every other Nigerian is suffering across different states. Edo State people are enduring the hardship, suffering from it. Edo State people are suffering from insecurity. Edo State people know that their power, their voice matter, and it counts. That is what the Edo State people are doing. That is the secret. And that secret is an open secret that everybody must embrace. That secret, we experimented with our power in 2020. We came out like this to say Godfatherism in Edo State must die. And the person that we are supporting to kill Godfatherism in Edo State is Governor Godwin Obaseki. Just like this, Edo State people home and abroad, the tool of social media was very key. Every Edo State person, an average Edo State person, is on social media. They follow, they post messages, they interact with their fellows. That is the secret, my brother. So when you hear people say social media does not translate into vote, tell them they are liars. Because even when they are saying that, they are using social media to tell the world that social media does not translate into vote. But in 2020, that was what PDP said, that social media is just a waste of time. But they were stunned. They were stunned. And they were stunned that we use social media and translated social media power into votes on the ground. And Governor Obaseki emerged the governor of Edo State. This same social media is what we are using right now to say Peter Obi should be the president of Nigeria. And this will translate into votes. We are looking at 90% now in Edo State by the time the election day comes. The same way Peter Obi is going to win Edo State, I assure you Peter Obi is going to win Delta State. Peter Obi is going to win South-South. So Igbos in the East, for some of you who are still very much on the fence, climb down. Another reason again I will adduce to this is that Edo State people are people who are very open-minded. They don't look at, oh, this one is my brother, let me vote for my brother, when they know that their brother is not the most competent person. And those people look at the most competent persons and they support the most competent person. And right now, those people have concluded that the most competent candidate in this election to become president of Nigeria is Peter Gregory Obi. That is why Edo State people are taking the position they are taking. Every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, even the ones that are not lettered, they have all concluded that this election, umbrella is a forbidden story. Broom is a forbidden story. The real story right now that everybody's embracing is the symbol of man, woman, and child. That is the labor symbol. And in Edo State, what you may not even know is that offices of labor, they are springing everywhere. Nobody's giving anybody to do it. People are volunteering. Because when Edo State people believe, Nigeria must believe. And that is a secret. That is a story. And Edo State people are aware of the antics of PDP and Atiku. They are aware of the antics of APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they are waking up to those realities to defend their votes. And in 2020, Edo State people were not shameless like many of the voters in Ekiti State. Edo State people opened their arms, collected money from those who wanted to give money, and yet they voted for their conscience. And majority of them voted for Governor Obaseki. On the election day, we captured it from this place. We gave a live election day broadcast. And people were making confessions. I just collected 2,000. I just collected 5,000. But I have voted for Governor Obaseki. Because people were conscientized that much. So my brother, my friends, don't worry about Edo State. Edo State is setting the pace and telling the world that the right person to become president of Nigeria by 2023 is Peter Gregory Obi. Let's not mix it. I'm coming to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I just make I use this one to start the matter. Please share this broadcast because they need to hear, the world need to hear where we are. Nigerians, I'm putting this symbol. This is the labor symbol. I beg, if you not know, you see, man, woman, and pikin, now we they follow now. Now we want to put hand for the next election. Make una look at, make una share them to mama, to papa, to everybody. If you not even cut this video, you get my authority to cut them. You see the symbol? Now this one we they follow now. Broom don't fail us. Umbrella don't fail. We don't need broom and umbrella again. We need human being. That's why this symbol is very important. If you look at, as one of our brothers describe them, say man they one side, woman they one side, pikin come dey the center. There's some chuku come surrender. Now it be labor. That is the symbol. Now we're going to show everybody going forward. In every broadcast, I will try to keep pace with this. This is where we are. The circumstances, the antecedents, our history has driven us to this point. We are now wise. Our eyes are now open. And we are focused on this because we want everybody to open their eyes. Many of the people broadcasting on social media, evangelizing on social media, doing what they are doing even on the ground, many of them are from Edo State. And they know that they have to set the pace for the nation. So my brothers in the north, Hausa people, Fulanis in the north, good Fulanis and good Hausas. I've told you before that the people who suffer the most from terrorism, they are the people from the north. Not even the Southerners. The people from the north, they have lost more human beings to terrorism than those in the south. So this is a wake-up call to all the clerics and the clergymen, the Muslim clerics and the clergymen. Look, the issue of this one is a northerner, the other one is this. Look, if you guys want a stable Nigeria, okay, I'm appealing to you. I am appealing to you. I don't know how to speak Hausa. If I knew, I would have been speaking Hausa, but I will say Senu to all Hausa people. That in this election in 2023, I beg you, we all have a corporate responsibility to deliver this nation. And the man on the field that we can see today, that has that capacity, that propensity, that drive, that knowledge to govern Nigeria as a Nigerian is Peter Gregory Obi. Let us not follow the history of, oh, now Igbo man, now this, now that. I beg you. I beg you. If it takes the redemption and the liberation of Nigeria to come from the Igbo enclave, so be it. If Peter Gregory Obi was a Yoruba man or a Hausa man, I would have been speaking the same way I'm speaking right now. Because the competence of this man is unequal, it's unparalleled. If you look at it, even those supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu and supporting Atiku, they no longer campaign for Bola Ahmed Tinubu or campaign for Atiku. Their brokers is to make reference, to try to find fault in Peter Gregory Obi. And that is to tell you where we are. For many of you that may not know, may I leave that one, because I spoke with some chieftains of labor very close to the issue of running mates. I want to quickly delve into that right now before I come to what's it called, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. On the issue of running mates for Peter Gregory Obi, from the way things are looking, the hope that Kwankwaso will be the running mate of Peter Gregory Obi may not happen anymore, because Kwankwaso want to be the head of the ticket. And so they've agreed on everything. What they are able to agree on is who will be the head and who will be the running mate. Now, another matter that we are hearing, we cannot independently confirm this, is that certain Northerners, okay, they've now indulged themselves. Make I keep that matter first. I am not sure it's a matter that's, the stalwarts may want me to share publicly. However, some people are trying to, become anti-Nigeria. You understand what I'm saying now? But let me leave that at that. But we have some information that if the deal with Kwankwaso doesn't break through, Nigerians should expect an announcement very soon about who the running mate of Peter Gregory Obi is going to be. And that person too will be somebody that will command the respect of the Northerners. And so we are waiting. When that news breaks, we will rally around that person and, of course, get our message, our very strong message to the hinterland of the North. For now, please, if you are there, you have a moral duty to share our broadcast. These messages must get to the North. These messages must get to the Hausas. It must get to the young people among the Fulanis, the good ones. This is very important because we have a nation to save. Beyond 2023, I told some people, this one yesterday, or was it yesterday, first today? I said, the beauty of this movement is that this movement, this obedient movement, will now make Nigerians come to the level of Edo State people to understand that their power matter. And as soon as Nigerians get that understanding, this movement will not only be a movement to install Peter Gregory Obi as the next president of Nigeria, but this movement will continue even beyond 2023 to set agenda for this nation. This movement will continue to set agenda for the National Assembly, to set agenda for the presidency, because in this movement, Nigerians must understand that we own the power. Nigerian people, they are the power. When the power of the people say yes, it will be yes. When the power of the people say no, it will be no. And that is why, with capital rejectamente, Nigerians today are saying no to corruption, no to unnecessary waste, no to amassing of a collective patrimony, putting it in the hands of a few persons, no to inequality in Nigeria, but yes to peace, stability, and progress, which shall be guaranteed by Peter Gregory Obi. And they say that the evangelism of Peter Gregory Obi is the beginning of social liberation for the Nigerian people. It's the beginning of economic liberation for the Nigerian people. There will be progress, there will be stability, there will be peace. We can assure Nigerians of that when we have Peter Gregory Obi as the president. But let us take a listen why we must run away from anything Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria. It is very important. We must run away. I want to start with this. Share the broadcast, please.
Numerous quarters against Tinubu and supposedly aided by Fashola. It is believed that Tinubu's greed and primitive acquisition tendency knows no bound. In fact, it is believed that Lagos land personally appropriated by him is worth over 500 billion naira, and this is growing because he hasn't stopped. This makes Tinubu Nigeria's single largest landlord. 1. 4 Onyinko Abayomi Drive, Ikoyi, a 5-bedroom detached house on 1 acre of land, and originally the Lagos State Governor's guest house since 1979, but which now belongs to Tinubu. The certificate of occupancy of the property, valued at 450 million naira, was signed and released to him by Fashola in 2007, shortly after he assumed office. 2. Tinubu's residence at 26 Badilian Road, Ikoyi, valued at 600 million naira. The Lagos State government bought the property and paid an undisclosed sum to Tinubu, and thereafter gave the property back to him under the bogus pension bill he signed to law shortly before he left office in 2007. 3. The annex of the Lagos State Guest House in Asokoro, Abuja, was bought by the state government in 2006 for 450 million naira. But shortly after Tinubu left office, the property was transferred to him under the pension plan he signed into law before leaving office. 4. A 250-hectare land valued at about 35 billion naira and strategically located at the Ajah Junction on Lekki Road was initially meant for a general hospital for the people of Etiosa local government, but was seized by Tinubu and handed over to Trojan Estate Limited, a company owned by Deji and Wale Tinubu, to develop as Royal Garden Housing Estate at the expense of the taxpayers of Lagos. 5. The 1,000 hectares of land valued at about 75 billion naira at Lakowe near Abijo in Ibeju Lekki local government and given to Lekki Concession Company LCC, which is partly owned by Tinubu. It is being developed as a golf course and housing estate by Assets and Resource Management Limited, ARM. 6. 157 hectares of prime land worth 2.5 kilometers on the Atlantic beachfront, valued at about 10 billion naira and illegally appropriated by Tinubu from the communities of Sinwan, Igbekodo, Akpakin, in Ibeju Lekki and given to a Tinubu crony in front, Ibukun Fakeye, to build a golf course and luxury villa with little or no compensation to the villagers. Tinubu paid $20 million, that's 3 billion naira, out of public treasury to Fakeye to commence the project in late 2006. Fashola has since released additional funding for this project, which is not owned by the state government. 7. Bola Tinubu now owns the 14-hectare Parkview Ikoyi Estate foreshore land reclaimed by Lagos State government. 8. While in office, he allocated to himself the former Strabag yard beside the Lagos State Secretariat at Alausa Ikeja. The property has now been developed into a shopping mall, the Ikeja City Mall, that houses ShopRite Ikeja. 9. The choice property at Lekki Ekpe Road, on which he built the multi-billion naira Oriental Hotel and a multi-story car park beside it. In addition is the recreation center by Mobile in Oniru Estate on Lekki Ekpe Road, jointly owned with ARM and Tunji Oloalafe and valued at over 25 billion naira, were obtained without paying a kobo to the Lagos State government. Tinubu, under Fashola's watch, sold the following prime Lagos properties to their personal friend and front, Prince Dipo Eludoyi, at very ridiculous prices. 1. The 3.8 hectare of land of Lagos State Fisheries Office in VI, besides the Institute of Oceanography, valued at 3 billion naira. 2. The fishery land and jetty at Badore, valued at 500 million naira. 3. The entire Ogudu foreshore scheme, initially earmarked for a low-cost housing scheme, valued at 5 billion naira. 4. The Ilubinri housing estate, which used to house Lagos State civil servants and judges up till 2007, valued at 2.5 billion naira. 5. The former Julius Berger Yard at Okorisa, Ekpe, valued at 450 million naira. 6. Tinubu raised a loan of 4.7 billion naira on Eko Akete project, for which nothing was achieved before he turned around to sell the property to his friends Chagori and Chagori and his own company, High Tech Construction Limited, at the expense of the taxpayers of Lagos. 7. Tinubu applied to personally purchase the Federal Secretariat building while in office. When he couldn't get to buy it, he directed Fashola to stop the eventual owner of the complex from developing it. The complex is presently wasting away, courtesy of the Lagos State government. It took several months of horse trading and underhand payments before Fashola could allow the new owners of 1,004 flats to redevelop the complex. 8. Tinubu converted all the plots of land where Lagos Polytechnic was located at Ikosi near the old toll gate. He chased away the Polytechnic in 2006.
Well, Nigerians, I don't know how many persons have seen this video, but a lot of people have seen it. This is just one man, as alleged. And yet, since this video has been flying around, nobody has come out to say this is a lie. That is a lie, with proof. We expect the Tinubu campaign team to come out and dispute some of these things. Everything mentioned here, valued at over $500 million, or be 500 billion naira as alleged. Okay, they were all taken from the Lagos State Treasury. This is Tinubu, whose sphere of influence, okay, is majorly Lagos State. Okay, this is Tinubu, whose sphere of influence is majorly Lagos State, and this is what he has done with Lagos State. As a matter of fact, there's an allegation out there that Tinubu may even be richer than Dangote. You understand what I'm saying now? Now, the question is, if this is true, for instance, we say this is true, do you really believe that a man like this will be given the responsibility, apart from the fact that we can obviously see that this man is unaware, we can see that this man is old, too old to display that capacity for leadership. Do you truly believe that this man will be given the power to govern Nigeria, and years after, these figures you are seeing right now will not turn into multi-trillions at the expense of Nigerians? Did you people see Tinubu as a candidate arriving in Lagos, how everything stopped for hours because he's arriving in Lagos? He's not yet president, but because he's arriving and landing in Lagos, everything had to stop. Did you see that? I'm sure most of you did. Now, if this man is president, what would happen to the average Nigerian? Can you people, for those in Lagos, can you attest to the level of Agberoism in Lagos and how Agberos are taking over the entire Lagos? And we can look at Lagos as a microcosm of Nigeria and say that if this man become president of Nigeria, Nigeria will now become an Agberoistic state, a state ruled by the Agberos. So the risk with having to elect someone like Bola Ahmed Tinubu is too much. This is coupled with the fact that his perceived incapacity is enough to let us know that we are just going to have somebody who's going to be there and some other human beings will just be deciding what happens to the future of this country. The risk of giving our mandate to Tinubu is too much, is too high. The price is too much, we cannot pay it. This nation is already in the ditch. All we need to do is to find ways to leave this ditch. I am speaking to my Yoruba brothers. Many of you are still saying it must be Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Listen, this is what another Yoruba person had to say about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we must listen, irrespective of what we think. Let's take a listen.
Then Tinubu versus Bodejo, what has it got to do with the price of milk? I said to you that if I want to relocate, now by that time, 78 going to 79, I might go. If we had been shouting And I am happy the president has signed the new electoral bill. If by whatever chance he gets to the villa, I won't be part of this country. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I can go to Ghana, live in Ghana, and be watching you with a binocular from afar. You will see what will happen. Say this is Alpha Beta in Lagos. It will create some alter beta somewhere to carry your money and carry the thing. His wife will now be Senate president. His son will be governor of Lagos. His daughter will be Yoloja of Nigeria. Abba. What has he done to prove that he deserves to be honored by anybody in this country? He goes around there. How? Nothing personal. In fact, my niece called me, Deola, my colleague. He said, Egbomi, you know, some of their people are spinning that, he gives me money. That Bola gives me money. Let him bring the money. I will tell him to follow me to Lagos Island. People who are hungry are there. I grew up there in Lagos Island. I went to that popular school, St. John's School at Oloya. Played the local football there. I grew up there, not in Ikoyi here. But we thank God today we were educated. My parents my father was a civil servant in the Ministry of Defense till he retired. My mother was a nurse in the island maternity. They sent me to school. And they thought the rascality of Lagos was so much. So they shipped me to Ijebode Grammar School. And even if I come back again, I'll go back to Ijebode Grammar School. Because that was where ethics, the fear of God, what you expect you to be, to live up to be. Money is not everything. It is your character that counts. Because the day you pack up, and you never know, when the angel comes, you say it's time out. Don't tell him, give me 2 minutes. No, you are gone. Remember Alexander the Great, that great general that ravaged the whole world, made so much money, made so much asset. In the end, on his way back home, he fell ill. He called for his doctors. He said, I am likely to die. But make sure that coffin, you put my hands out. Because he started doling out all the assets he has acquired. And said they should leave his hands outside the coffin so that people will see that he's going home with zero.
That is a Yoruba man talking. And there are so many Yoruba men warning Nigerians today that somebody like Tinubu must not be given the space to become president of Nigeria. We need to listen. We need to listen because people who know him, many of them have come out to say, this cannot be. I mean, I mean, without listening to anybody, I have tried to evaluate the competence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This video, again, many of us have seen it, tells me that this man doesn't even know what is the responsibility of a president is. Because the way he speaks, he spoke here, honestly, is the way he's been speaking all around. No proper policy ideas. I beg, go on, listen.
It is time. We are under police. And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption.
How are the mighty fallen? Nigeria is just a mighty nation that is condescending to this kind of things. The crisis we face in this country, you can see that this man has no ideas on how to resolve the issues we have. And some people think that this is a trivial situation. It is not a trivial. This is a very serious matter. This is a matter that threatens the very existence of the Nigerian state. It's a matter that threatens the continued existence of the Nigerian state, because if we don't get it right in 2023, there are no guarantees that this nation will still be one united country beyond 2023, 24, 25. Because if the fortunes of this country continues the way it is right now, believe me, more people will be disenchanted. The power you see right now can advance it to say, man, look, we want a change of direction. This power will not cease. This power will not cease. This is why the Benima says, if you do not eat pounded yam because of pounded yam, you should eat it because of the soup. We must look at this country right now and look at how blessed we are. That we have one person that we can single out and say, man, this one head correct. This one get oil for head. And we have the opportunity of putting ourselves together to vote for this one person. I'm glad somebody just made a comment from Cross River State to say, look, Cross Riverians are decided, and that nobody can even campaign in Cross River apart from Peter Gregory Obi. We want to hear similar things in Lagos. We want to hear it in Oyo. We want to hear it in Ekiti. We want to hear it in Kogi State, in Benue, in Kano. We want to hear it in Nasarawa, in Benue. We want to hear it in Bauchi. We want to hear the same thing in Sokoto State. All across this nation. Because a common problem calls for common concern. Let me quickly thank those who say they manage to send us stars. Please, thank you so very much. It's going to go some long way. This is the mood of the nation right now. The other day, I was watching Chinese television news. I was seeing queues upon queues, vehicles, queuing for hours on end to get petrol, to fill their tank and go about their normal duties. Somebody was interviewed and said, man, at that time it was about 4 p.m. He said he had been there since about 6 a.m. in the morning. And the queue wasn't moving. What kind of a nation have we built and given to ourselves? It's been so bad. And that is the motivation Edo State people are having to push for this new narrative, for a chance for a new Nigeria to be born. For a chance for us to be hopeful that yes, we've been through thick and thin, but there's hope in the horizon. And that person who is embodiment of that hope is Peter Gregory Obi. We cannot miss this chance, my people. Share this video to the market women. Share it to the farmers. Share it to our brothers in the north. Many of them have not woken up to these realities. And it's important they know that the era we are right now is not one that we can joke with. The problem of this nation, they are mammoth, they are huge. And all we can do is to salvage this nation because we have the power to do so. That power is the power that many Nigerians are exploiting right now. And that is why you can see things like this. Because people are exercising that power right now.
If you get PVC, let me hear you say, aye. How many of the politicians you go see say, when the election come, they go send their pikin where they oversee, make it come carry ballot box, lie. But now you, they go come, you go come die, leave your pikin. Because of how much? 20,000. No be juju be that.
Yes. I believe say everybody wey dey here now, they go down the one that say wetin dey happen. Simple thing. I want let all of una know say good afternoon. Anybody wey never sell for this place, you must sell. Anybody wey say you no go sell, Holy Ghost. 2023 don come. 2023 don do wetin? E don dey come. I believe say many of us here will not get PVC. Now simple thing I come do. Me, I leave work and I come here for simple thing. Many of us wey dey here, I no go lie, una don tire for the situation of things for the country. Yes now.
If you notice we, the youth, and even our parents here, the condition where the country dey na we cause am. Yes now, because during the election, now people like us go dey collect one bag of rice, two cup of rice, tomatoes. When you collect am, you go come do wetin, you go sell your vote. Vote your conscience. Now wetin carry me come here? If you know,
It is the awareness and the hope that we can make a difference. And that is why young people everywhere like myself, they are going about leaving everything they are doing to converse, to preach, to evangelize the gospel, to say, man, we have a chance as a people. We are believing very strongly, like we know, we're already convinced in Edo State, that our votes will surely count. Please, if you are watching this broadcast, please do your bit and be that one small hero that will make a difference. They say Rome was not built in a day. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. We have 8 months to election. If we continue with the pace with which we are right now, this nation will be completely locked down for Peter Obi, and nothing will change that. But we must not despair. We must not dampen our spirit. We have a lot to benefit if we are able to give our mandate to the man, Peter Gregory Obi. This is important. This is what we must do. It is in the belief that this is what we must do that people are beginning to devise different means of campaigning to make Nigerians understand that this is the direction we must face. It is not biblical, but it's a matter that is very evident in itself, that the voice of the people is and should be the voice of God. And that is why this young brother will be exercising his own right to let the people know that we are all ready for the government of Peter Gregory Obi. Just enjoy this piece.
See the light at the end of the tunnel.
It has gone to that extent. So my people, I came out here to further reemphasize that there is a need for us to do what we have to do. But before we leave, there's another allegation about APC and the plans by the APC to rig this election. It is important we know if this is true, because we cannot independently verify it. But if it is true and we are getting to know and the information is out there, it means that we are better prepared. We have no way of verifying this ourselves independently, but the news is out there. So people have made a video about this news and all of that, and we have seen colorations like this in the past. We've seen it in Ekiti State and all of that. But it's amazing, if it is true, how ready these people are, how desperate they are, this few of them, to want to ensure that they keep hold of power, to ensure that at the end of the day, they just bring this nation to our knees. But let's take a listen, just for our preparedness. And yet, this video is out there. They have not come out to debunk any aspect of this video. Watch it. APC plans to rig the election of 2023. It is good we know if it is true, so we can be prepared.
Plans to use public funds of more than 6 trillion naira by the APC to rig the 2023 general elections has been busted. This is contained in a leaked document provided by a whistleblower. The leaked 13-slide document with the APC watermark indicates it's an official document of the APC. It details strategic plans to use 6,500,678,948,080 naira of federal funds to buy voters and officials in the 22 states controlled by the APC in what appears like a scam. A Ponzi scheme. This amount is almost half of Nigeria's 2023 budget. This is about $11 billion, if calculated by using the parallel market rate of more than 600 naira to $1 or about $15.3 billion using the official exchange rate of 425 naira to $1. The question is, where is this kind of money coming from? Or is the APC printing money? The APC controls 22 states, the PDP controls 13 states, and All Progressive Grand Alliance controls 1 state. The 22 receiving states are grouped into 6 groups labeled A to F, with each group representing a geopolitical zone. Group A, Northwest, is the zone which posted the highest electoral outing for the APC in 2015-2019 presidential elections. At the bottom of the chart is Group F, representing the Southeast, the zone where APC posted its worst performances within the same period. The leaked APC document reveals how the whooping sum of 6,500,678,948,080 naira has been earmarked through a diabolical Ponzi scheme to prosecute the 2023 elections. These funds will be dispersed by the Central Bank of Nigeria using the Commercial Agricultural Credit Scheme. These organs of government are now mere departments of the ruling APC. These federal agencies have been assigned specific roles in ensuring that 6 trillion naira of public funds is deployed to fraudulently steal the 2023 elections from Nigerians. These are: Office of the President, led by the Chief of Staff, is the facilitator. Central Bank of Nigeria is the funds distributor. The Office of the National Security Advisor handles security setup for the entire operation. The Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is the mobilizer. While both the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative and Federal Ministry of Agriculture will be used to distribute agro and food palliatives. With these the hope to escape public scrutiny. According to the leaked document, all 22 APC states will be beneficiaries of the vote-buying Ponzi scheme, with a combined number of 110,386 polling units. The remaining 14 states, with their 63,481 polling units, are eliminated from this scheme. The leaked document further states that sums ranging between 10,000 naira and 20,000 naira will be paid on election day. In total, the APC targets harvesting all 29,804,220 votes in states currently controlled by APC governors. This is against the aggregate voting strength of 17,139,870 within the states controlled by PDP. The diabolic document even distributes votes, though the election is still many months away in 2023. APC pre-awarded itself more than 29 million votes, while the PDP is pre-awarded 17 million votes, thus ensuring a pre-arranged winning margin of 11,663,850 votes. Other parties are pre-awarded 1,500,000 votes, as well as 804,000 rejected votes, to further pursue their devilish plot against the Nigerian people. The leaked 2023 APC election document demonstrates how to manipulate the biometric voters' identification system and card readers in order to perpetuate biometric fraud. This will be done by modifying the card readers and biometric systems. The biometric systems in APC target states will have unlimited capacity, those in PDP-controlled states will be limited. APC allocated 1,909,936,800,000 naira to vote buying on election day. 153,498,255,129 naira is allocated to buying over INEC ad hoc staffs, observers, state returning officers, police, army, and civil defense. 3,153,498,255,129 naira will be disguised under the Poverty Alleviation Program. But the condition is that the beneficiary pledges to vote APC. Envisaging a barrage of petitions that will arise from the elections, 153,498,255,129 naira has been allocated to election tribunals. APC governors get 730,247,382,693 naira. APC state and local offices gets 300 billion naira while the support groups will pocket 100 billion naira. 7 ghost organizations will be used to siphon funds, disguising as agricultural grants. Agriculture and Aquarian Services. Nagarta Farmers Association. Fairwater Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society. KNARDI Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society. Maynas Ra Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society. L&Z Integrated. Lotto Farmers. These ghost organizations pockets 928,668,421,154 naira each. Details of persons who will supervise, coordinate and disperse these illicit funds are all clearly listed in the leaked document. But the APC has been exposed. May God bless Nigeria and her peoples.
Amen. Well, this document is out there, it's in a public space. We hope that APC will come out and debunk this. Where this is coming from, I do not know. But there are semblance of things that we have experienced before in this, particularly with the issue of vote buying. And if this is true, it therefore means that we are right to play to Nigerians so that we can be prepared. We can be ready. You understand what I'm saying? And we know how to equally, strategize. With the power we have, it's ourselves, our campaign. The power, we have is to convince our people to know that the direction to face is not the direction of those that have been buying us over. It's the direction of those that have looked at the statistics, that have looked at the opportunities, and have looked at how to make the statistics work better for the opportunities available in this country. And the only man who's to handle that is Peter Gregory Obi. We cannot make that mistake. Nigerians, where we are right now is a defining moment. And in this moment, in this time, in this election, it has to be different. And that difference cannot come if we don't make way for it. And that is why I'm making this case. That is why we continue to make this case. Even though it's eight months to election day, we are on a very good trajectory. Even though it's 8 months to election day, we are on a very good pathway. Because right now, the gospel of deliverance of the Nigerian state is getting to the nooks and crannies of the Nigerian state. And let nobody deceive you that social media is not going to do anything. Believe me, for social media is already translating to votes in this country. And therefore, I want to appeal conscientiously to everyone that the man that we believe strongly will lead us to that new era, will lead us to that new Nigeria for our dream is Peter Gregory Obi. And the party that he flies under is the Labour Party. Show this logo to everybody. We are going to be working to produce, different kinds of materials that will carry the Labour Party that we are going to use to sell to the market women. Every market woman, every farmer, every young person, every Nigerian must understand that broom never help us. Umbrella not help us. Where will they go now? Now, this logo wey carry mama, carry papa, carry pikin, chuku come surround am. That will they go right now. And I be Labour Party. The party wey carry mama, it carry papa, it carry pikin for the center. Because broom don't fail. Umbrella don't fail. Hope no dey there. So everybody must understand. This must be the message. So now this logo wey carry papa, carry mama, carry pikin. Now we go to follow. Now we go vote for on the election day. We must make this stamp in the brains and the minds of our market women, our mothers, our fathers, our pensioners, our everybody. This is the future of this country. This is the direction. This is where we are all going. It's where we are all aiming. ANEC has come out to announce that in this voters registration exercise, over 10 million Nigerians have been registered. More Nigerians have been registered in recent time. And that's a good thing. And I am sure that before the close of this particular program of PVC, registration, more Nigerians will be registered. And if we're able to get that going like that, then the hope is increasing because majority of those registering now, I can tell you, they are registering because of Peter Gregory Obi. And we must keep it on going. And for ANEC, I want to appeal. We have watered everywhere to say, get your PVCs. Nigerians are not ready to get their PVCs. But it's becoming very frustrating that people go to centers where they should get PVC, machines are not available. ANEC, you are failing in your duties. And you are failing woefully in your duties. We don't want to see or hear that Nigerians are disenfranchised. Every day, thousands of Nigerians become 18 years in this country, eligible to vote. We cannot have a situation where 5,000 people are gathered. Only 6 machines is available. That was what we had in the concert in Edo State. 6 machines for over 5,000 population. The same story we are getting in Lagos, the same story we are getting in Enugu State, in Anambra, the same story we are getting all over this nation. Please, INEC, step up. Step up. Order machines because you have a huge budget to run this election. Let Nigerians be registered. Provide machines and make it available so that Nigerians can register and have their PVC so that we can be ready for the D-Day. Nigerian people, my name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi, and like Benmore Bruce, I'm just here to make common sense of our situation so that we can get it right in 2023. I appeal to you, let's not make the mistake. Peter Gregory Obi is the man. Labour Party is the party. That is the direction for 2023. So that we can have the hope that a new Nigeria will be born and will take our rightful place of, in the scheme of things as far as Africa is concerned and as far as this globe is concerned. Let's not make that mistake. Let's support continuously Peter Gregory Obi. Let us work hard, seriously, for the future of this country. And I'm glad to announce I received a call a couple of days back and been informed that Labour Party Europe has been formed. As a matter of fact, they had their first face-to-face meeting yesterday in London. Labour Party Europe. For people who have reached me, they want to have Labour branch in some cities across Europe and America. Please, you can get back to me now. I will direct you to the proper source because from this Labour Party Europe registered, from there, the team will now be designating the centers all across Europe. So for those in Italy, in Germany, in France, in Spain, that want to set up Labour Party structure and start registering Labour Party members and start canvassing, the diaspora for Peter Gregory Obi, get to me as soon as you can. And we'll start making that arrangement, on behalf of the entire Labour Party. I'm not a Labour Party man. I am for Peter Gregory Obi, and I'm working in tandem with everything and everybody that is standing with and for Peter Gregory Obi. Nigeria must move forward. It is going to be on our collective desire, our collective will, our collective push, and of course, our collective pragmatism. That is what it's about. It's been a conversation.
Comrade Show, Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.